guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in this video, we will take a look at the stock market and see what is next for them. So I will share with you guys my perspective. So I've made quite a few videos like that in the past when we had the crash and when we had the recovery. And you guys really like to see my point of view on the overall market. And this is what we will do as well today. As you guys can see as well, I have a microphone in today's video. So I think that the sound might be a bit better when I record like this. It's a pretty old microphone actually, you know, I was using that to record gaming videos when I was a lot younger, if you guys know about that. So that's kind of the idea. And yeah, so it's quite old, but I think it does the job. I think the sound is better. We don't hear as much the echo because, as you guys probably know, in my trading room, there is basically nothing beside, well, my setup. I like to keep it very clear, very, you know, simple, and it just helps me to focus better on the markets. So I don't like to have too much on this room, which is why there is a lot of echo. But when I use a microphone like this, at a, you know, very close to me, I think it makes the sound a bit better. So just before that we start, please guys, let me know in the comment section if you guys prefer the sound like this or just like it was before. And I'm really asking that for you guys, you know, so I will take a look at your feedback, also see the likes on this video. And if I see that there are good feedbacks and good amount of like, well, I will keep using this microphone in order to get a better audio quality. So that's kind of the idea. So let's look at the market. So in the last few weeks, as you guys can see, we got a pullback after breaking to new all-time highs. So we had the coronavirus pandemic crash right here. Then we started to get the recovery, which was mostly boosted by the Fed. And this recovery, well, actually turned to be much bigger than I think anyone thought it would be. And that is the same thing for me as well, because we broke to new all-time highs and we even, you know, kept going up for quite some time. I did not expect to see that at the beginning of this whole situation, but here we are today. Now, first of all, let's talk about fundamentals. As you guys know, I like to start with that, and then we will go into the technicals. So in terms of fundamentals, what do we have right now? What the situation looks like? So first of all, right, let's answer this question. This down move here, is this a long-term reversal or is this another crash? Personally, I do not think it is. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. I just don't think it's doing that. And the reason why is because really, since that we had this breakout here, and really the whole time that it recovered, and with what we have right now, there is no difference. And what I mean by that is that the fundamentals for this up move and this down move are pretty much the same. And so just because we have a down move right here doesn't mean that this whole kind of up move here is starting to fade away and it's over. That is clearly not the case. So what here is important to do is to understand the nature of this down move. Where does it come from and why are we getting that right now? So as I said, on a fundamental basis, everything is pretty much the same, okay? So I don't see any reason right now to panic or to think that it's going to reverse. As I said, it doesn't mean that it's impossible. Of course, it could reverse. Of course, we could get a pretty big move to the downside. My point here is simply that for the moment, there is no confirmation. There is no sign that we are doing that. So it is important to kind of stay in the present moment and understand the situation as it is, and also understand the possible versus the probable, right? So of course, it is possible for it to go down more and maybe deeper. We don't know that, but I don't think for now it is very probable. So as I said, if we come back to this down move here, what caused this down move? Well, it's basically a few technology stocks that started to go down a bit, and it caused the whole equity market to also follow. So first of all, we can see this down move on the S&P. We can also see the same down move on the Nasdaq. So here we have it. And as I said, it is because of the few big tech business, which we saw their stock go down quite a lot in the last few weeks. So I'm thinking about Tesla, obviously. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what happened on this chart. This is not normal. So forget whatever bar this is. I don't know if we, yeah, okay. So we don't see it on the other time frames. I have no idea why we see that on this time frame, but you know, that's not the actual move. So don't worry about that. But as you guys can see, we got a pretty big down move on Tesla, which was the leading to the down move on the equities. So it went from 500 to about 328. So, you know, in terms of percentage, I mean, that's a 35% down move, you know, in a couple of days. So that was a actually pretty aggressive down move. And that is no surprise, because if you look at how crazy this stock got and how big the move was, well, when we have these situations with a stock that is extremely volatile, what we know and what we can learn from the past is that the pullback, right, so the correction will also be very fast and very volatile and pretty deep as well. So we can see this on Tesla. We can also see this on Apple. So if we go on Apple chart, we will see the same kind of down move. And so basically these few tech businesses, as I said, that went down led the whole equity market to go down. So that in itself is pretty crazy, because it shows how important these stocks are to the overall equities. Now, if we go back to equities, let's go back on the daily chart. As I said, for the moment, well, that is the only kind of reason of why we had this down move. It's only a few tech stock that started to go down. That's really just it. And so that's why I said that in terms of fundamentals, well, beside that point, there's really nothing different. And the whole situation is pretty much the same as it was during that time. So in terms of fundamentals right now, nothing suggests that we could get a big reversal, for example. And that is the reason why I think that for the moment, this is not what we should expect. As I said before, it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means that it is not the main scenario for now. So of course, it will depend on how these stock evolves as well. So if we get a deeper down move on Tesla and Apple and things like that, then equities will most likely just follow that, and we might get a deeper pullback. So when I mean a deeper pullback, well, you know, this move might extend a bit more, you know, maybe to the 3,200 level, maybe even 3,000 if it really gets deep. Honestly, I don't think we will see 3,000 well, in the near future, but as I said, we need to consider all possibilities. So, you know, if we get a deeper down move, then we might kind of go back to around these levels there. If not, we could also just make a correction around these levels. That would be very possible, I think, to see. So we might just get, you know, a period of, let's say, more uncertainty where we are not too sure about where the stock market is going. And then after that, we will get a break either way, and this will lead to a bigger move. So this could also be a potential scenario. If not, could this go back totally from here? I think it's possible as well. This could just be a pullback, just like this one, for example, and then this could be enough, because there is a particular pattern here that I think might be forming. And if that's the case, then this could just go back up, break these levels, and keep going up. There is also this possibility. So in terms of fundamental, there is really nothing there. What I think is important here to understand is more the psychological factor in play. And what I mean by that is that if we go back on Tesla, I think it's the best example. Obviously, people were very excited for Tesla, and people are still very excited for Tesla. It has been a very popular stock now since really the beginning of the year. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone wants to invest in it. So there's a lot of mass psychology in this move. There's a lot of, you know, mental bias, we could say, or cognitive bias, you know, whatever word you want to use. But there's a lot of psychology in that. So when it goes up, everyone is kind of excited about that. Everyone wants to get in the move. Everyone is kind of, you know, super optimistic and things like that. And when it starts to pull back, a lot of people start to sell. They start to panic, and, you know, there's a lot of psychology in these moves. That's what I'm trying to say, because if we look at Tesla, for example, on a fundamental basis, there is nothing that suggests such a big up move, right? There is no fundamental reason here. It's only human psychology that are making these moves possible. And so you need to understand in which context the markets are trading. And right now, this is the context. It's human psychology. So we will see how these stocks evolve in the future, but it's already pretty crazy, right? If we just look at the size of the up move, I mean, you know, if we go back here to the low of the crash in March, that's a 600% gain on a stock in a couple of months, right? I don't know if you guys realize that, but it's really crazy, right? It's a massive move. And so when we get these type of moves, there's a lot of psychology, as I said. And so we will need to study the market from that point of view, from that perspective, to understand what might happen from there. So that's kind of a big key that I'm giving you guys, because most people only will look at the fundamentals or the technicals, but they will not look at the psychological factor of it and really kind of do the psychological analysis of the market, really. And that is something that I cover more in my course, but it's actually very important to do, especially in these situations. So we will see, and in order to know what the equities will do, we will need to monitor these stocks very carefully. Now, if we go back on stocks, especially on the S&P chart, there is a trend line that a lot of people have been watching, which I think is, well, it could be relevant, let's put it that way, which is this one, right? So as you guys can see, we kind of have this trend line which takes in these levels there, all of these, one here, this one, and now we are kind of back at it. And so far the market has kind of respected that level, let's put it that way. Now, as I said, I don't think that this trend line has been in play for the downside. I think it's more the tech stocks, and once again, that is really important to understand. So if we kind of consider this trend line, well, as I said, is this a total reversal? For now, nothing suggests that it could be the case. So what I think might happen here as a possibility is that we could get just a correction. So this could either be all the correction, we could go back up, we could get a bigger one here, then go back up, we could get a deeper pullback here, then go back up. So these are the three main ways of how I think this pullback could take place. And then when it goes back up, or if it goes back up, maybe I should say, then what will be interesting is to see, how the market reacts around these levels there. And if we are able to break above this, well, really, there is not that much obstacle for more upside, because this trend line was watched by a lot of people. So this might still has triggered some selling or some profit taking. But if these levels cannot hold in the future, and if we break above, then we might just keep going up and we might get a pretty sizable move. So that's kind of my outlook for the moment on the stock market and the equities. Overall, it's not that much difference, especially on a fundamental basis. We just had this pullback, and now we need to understand the nature of the pullback and what we could get from it. And well, that was basically the idea of the video, to explain you guys what this pullback actually is and what it means for equity. So I don't think it's a total reversal. There's no need to panic. As I said, it's only human psychology related to a few stocks that led to this pullback. Nothing more, nothing less. So that's kind of the idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and don't forget to give me your feedback on the audio if you like it or not. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.